He has this kind of aura to him, right?
他有一种很强大的魅力，就是感觉路过的人都会多看几眼。
He has a very strong aura, and everyone that meets him in person will definitely look at him an extra couple times.
All right, we are a few days before the debut of CFO at MSI 2025, and I'm in the presence of HongQ. HongQ, first of all, it's so nice to finally meet you in real life. We got to talk at first hand before, and yeah, I'm just really excited to talk to you. And I want to ask you as well, like, how excited are you for the tournament?
就蛮开心的吧，就第二次进入国际赛这样子，然后就特别开心，新的尝试这样子。
I am very excited and looking forward to MSI. It is my second time making an international, so I am just even more excited for this.
How has it been as well, like arriving in Canada, being overseas? Last time for first time you were in Korea, so it wasn't that far from home, but now you're very far from home, right, as well. Are the scrims going well as well? How are you adapting in general?
加拿大这里就是我觉得风景都很好吧，然后感觉房子都很漂亮这样子。然后训练赛的话，就最近训练赛应该算蛮少的吧，所以状态还不是特别明显。
Vancouver is a very pretty city, especially their architecture. So Vancouver has been amazing so far. And in terms of scrims, we haven't been able to scrim that much recently, and so we're not too sure what our form looks like right now. And that's about it.
As you mentioned yourself, this is your second international event, and even though this is your first year, I want to ask you, like, how was it lifting the trophy a second time around? Was it as special as the first time as well in the LCP?
跟第一次我感觉就区别应该都不大吧，但是第二次的国际赛就是会有各赛区会有多一支队伍，就挑战性更大吧的感觉。
So when I raised the trophy for the second LCP trophy, I feel like there wasn't too much of a difference from the first time I won the LCP in Split 1. And in regards to MSI, because there is an extra team coming from every major region, the competitiveness is much higher from first stand, and I'm looking forward to facing off against these teams.
That's a very interesting topic as well, because obviously after first stand, you earn yourself a lot of fans, a lot of respect as well for the LCP region. How do you feel like CFO fits in the puzzle of strength at MSI? And are you as confident as you were at first hand as well that you guys are going to be able to perform like you did back then, especially with those added teams?
就希望我们能打好每一场比赛吧，就要更努力一点，因为都是来自各大赛区的前2名，就我们不能小瞧自己，然后也不能小瞧对手这样。
We will still try our best when facing off against all the opponents at MSI. I think we shouldn't downlook other teams, and we shouldn't underestimate ourselves either. So we are going to go forward with the utmost respect against every single team.
There's also something very interesting about this tournament is that last time you entered as heavy underdogs. Not a lot of people, especially from the West, were expecting CFO to do well at the tournament. But I would say that this time you are entering the tournament with a lot more expectations, especially after your result in the very first split of the year. Do you feel any different with how you are starting the tournament in terms of like what people think about your team in general, and does it put pressure on you or not at all?
可能对我们粉丝对我们的期望都会比较高吧，但我们还是专注于自己的游戏内容，就像打好，然后也不要太紧张吧，就只需要打好自己的就好。
So I think it's normal for fans to have high expectations for us going into MSI, but we are going to focus on our own gameplay and try our best to perform to the best of our abilities going forward.
Last time we talked, you told me about how you still felt a bit nervous at times in first stand, because obviously you're a very young player, right? Do you feel, first of all, that being a bit nervous is still like a positive, because obviously it keeps you a bit like ready for the match and everything? And how has that evolved since the last time in Korea as well?
就多少都会紧张吧，然后自己是年纪最小的选手，就可能其他队就会放松警惕吧，但我还是做好自己的就行。
So I will still be quite nervous for MSI. However, being the youngest player at MSI, I think a lot of players and teams will. I think a lot of players and teams will be quite underlooking this aspect, and I will still perform to the best. I will still perform to the best of my ability and take them by surprise.
And speaking of that as well, I know you're a big fan of Chovy, and I know as well that you are probably going to be facing against Faker in the very first round. Is this something that feels a bit surreal for you as well, like to be able to meet your idols on the Rift and probably play against them as well in the tournament?
就蛮开心吧，就是还是得看那个入围赛，就是对手打得怎么样，然后有可能我们也需要抽签，就蛮希望能对上 Faker 的吧，就是因为他的对线很老练，然后整体的大局观很厉害，这样子想跟他交手看看。
So I'm quite happy that I'm able to go up against many players that I respect, and it will still determine the matchup that is up and coming will still be determined through the play-ins, but I would love to verse Faker in the upcoming matches because I think Faker is a very stable player for T1, and I think it will be a lot of fun laning against him.
Have you had the chance to meet either like Chovy, Faker, or any players you like so far, like in the hotel or like even in the media room so far?
这个场馆刚有看到 Faker， 就是看着他目不，就是我眼睛离不开他的视角这样子。
Well, I just finished doing some media, and luckily I was able to meet Faker just about now before this interview, and I felt very honored being under his presence.
He has this kind of aura to him, right?
他有一种很强大的魅力，就是感觉路过的人都会多看几眼。
He has a very strong aura, and everyone that meets him in person will definitely look at him an extra couple times.
All right, we're gonna have to close off very soon. But another thing I wanted to ask you about was, last time we talked, you also told me about how your dream was to one day become better than Maple, which is a very emblematic player for your region as well. Do you feel like today you're closer to reaching that goal?
应该是完全还没超越吧，但就是因为他是一个很强的选手，从以前打到现在就很强。要超越的话，就是还要更努力、更进步吧，因为他之前也有赢过韩国那些很强的队伍这样子。
So I don't think I've been able to overtake Maple Spot just quite yet because I think Maple is a very well-respected player around the world, and especially given his record, he's gone up against the Korean teams and mainland LPL teams where they were incredibly strong and he was able to defeat them. So I would like to improve my own skills and try to chase after this dream.
And last question for you. Do you have a message of warning for the other teams that might still underestimate CFO?
就也不用小看我们或很期待我们，就正常看比赛就行了。
So no need to underestimate CFO during this MSI. Just sit back and watch us perform.
Awesome. Well, HongQ, it's always so nice to talk to you. I wish you the best of luck in the tournament. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. Have some good rest in the meantime as well, and talk to you soon.